8 p.m. Eastern on the Sire Studios digital network. That's secretsofthesire.com, siredigital.com, youtube.com/Sire Studios, facebook.com/Secrets of the Sire, and twitch.tv/Secrets of the Sire. You can download us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, everywhere podcasts can be downloaded. You can find us tonight. Disney Plus debuts The Batman casts, and we watch more Watchmen. As always, I am your host, Michael Dolce, welcoming you. As always, by my side is Mr. Hassan Godwin, Lord of the Live Stream. How do you feel? You got it. You got your Disney Plus. It was all for you.
Yes, at long last, Star Wars is being pumped into my house directly, right into my eye holes. It is a dream come true. I wish that many other people could have lived to see this. My friend Rudy. I don't know. Actually, Rudy's not dead. None of them are dead. But I don't know them anymore.
I'm happy
so,
to hear
like,
that.
technically,
I'm glad to hear that.
Technically, to me, they're dead. But I mean, they're not dead. But I don't talk to them anymore. But this is what we used to talk about when we used to talk
so they're just
about
dead to you.
Yeah, they're dead to me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's it.
Totally
That's it
acceptable.
Totally
acceptable.
But I mean, look, I wish this is what we used to talk about. We used to talk about like new Star Wars just coming straight to your house. You wouldn't have to do anything or go anywhere.
We had that in the 80s. It was the Christmas special and the Ewok special.
No, Michael.
Right to my house.
No, we didn't.
As cool as Star Wars beamed straight to your house is, and we'll talk about it a lot more in our next segment, the big Disney Plus excitement in our household is the Toy Story movies that my 3.5-year-old is actively consuming. I forgot how children consume things. It's the same thing over and over again, especially at 3.5. He wants to watch the exact same movie he just saw. He wants to watch it again, like right after. And then he wants to watch it again, like right after. And he's like, "Can I watch the Toy Story movie?" And I'm like,
I miss having that kind of energy.
Isn't that amazing? Like, isn't that amazing? Like, I could watch something and I'm good for 7 years.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
unfortunately,
like,
I will still do that with music, though. There are some songs that I will
music,
listen to
and
just listen to it all over again. But not like full scale.
No,
not full scale movies and television shows. Like, I've already seen it.
No. So
time for dinner.
We will consume our Disney Plus next segment, but we're going to start with our Sire Bites. Today's topic, we start off with Kevin Feige breaks silence on the Scorsese attack. It's unfortunate. Long story short, in early October, Oscar-winning filmmaker Martin Scorsese, this comes from Hollywood Reporter, stirred up a storm, but when he kind of went on his barrage against Marvel Studios and Marvel Films. It isn't the cinema of human beings trying to convey emotional, psychological experiences to each other, he said. He also went on to publish an op-ed talking about a lot of different topics as to how it's killing cinema and its theme park movies. These are made for theme parks. The only person that has not said anything up to this point was Kevin Feige up until now. He talked to Hollywood Reporter. I think it's not true. I think it's unfortunate. I think myself and everyone who works in these movies loves cinema, loves movies, loves going to the movies, loves to watch a communal experience in a movie theater full of people. While audiences have flocked to these films, Scorsese argued, there is no real stakes. What's not there is revelation, mystery, or genuine emotional danger. Nothing is at risk. The pictures are made to satisfy a specific set of demands, and they are designed as variations on a finite number of themes. We never really talked about this much when it was kind of happening because there was just so much other stuff going on. So it's kind of nice of Kevin to throw us a bone and comment so we can kind of
we
revisit
didn't talk about it because it's nonsense. The whole thing is nonsense. It's nonsense.
Here's the thing, though. I know what you're going to say.
I know you know what I'm going to say.
But part of me sits there and says he's not necessarily wrong. What he's actually talking about is the death of the middle-funded movie. And that's really what he's talking about. You're either making a low-budget horror movie for $4 million if you're Hollywood, or you're making a mega blockbuster for $200 million because nothing else. It's really not the Marvel films that are killing it. It's TV that's killing it, right?
This is what I'm saying. I'm not even saying that Scorsese is wrong. I just think the argument is nonsense.
Hot take.
Scorsese's not. Scorsese's just feeling what Scorsese feels. Scorsese's got a right to call whatever he wants cinema in his own mind. Not only is he an elder statesman, not only is he a proven expert at the craft, he's a storied, accomplished purveyor of the craft that he's talking about, which gives him more of a right than you and I do about talking about cinema, right? But also, he's an elderly man, and it's not.
He's a get off my lawn guy right now.
It's not a disparaging. It's not a disparaging remark to call him an elderly man. He's an elderly man who does not appreciate or does not adhere to, or does not agree with the morals and the sensibilities of modern purveyors of the same art. He thinks that, look, he's an older person. I mean, to trivialize it as best as possible, he's an old person saying, I don't like the kids' music today. Yes. I mean, that's really just what it is. And that's fine.
No, but again, it's not just that though. It's like saying, I don't like the fact that we now have CD players. I don't like the fact that we now have, Napster. I don't like the fact that, you know what I mean? Because I think he's really rallying.
Why would he have to?
Yeah, I know.
Why would he have to appreciate it? Why would he have to? Why does he have to appreciate it? Why does he have to like it?
I know.
Why does he? Why
that's the thing that gets me too, though, is everyone's like, bruh, F you. That's the difference these days, Like social media is just like, how dare you? They did the same thing to Bill Maher.
It's a hot look. This guy does not like our movies.
Today's social media is like, don't give him a platform. don't give Scorsese a platform. You're platforming
and that's what I'm talking about. Like we're gonna negate your entire catalog of accomplishments because we don't like the one thing you said about modern films.
Yeah,
it's asinine.
Yeah,
it is absolutely asinine. If he does not think, he's got no power to take anything away from us.
Right.
If we love these films and we think that they're cinema, that is enough. They're going to continue. He cannot stop them from happening. All he can do is tell us how he feels about it. And we could decide we respect his feelings and we're still going to go see Endgame. Or we agree with him. And we're not going to go see Endgame. And that's, either one's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt Disney. Either one's not going to hurt either of us. So I don't understand why, personally, and I know why we're talking about it. And I understand. And that's fine. We're going to talk about it because it's
actually,
for the mill.
Let me tell you right now.
I don't understand why it's a story. I don't get why it's a story.
But the cool part about the story is, it's modern journalism, which is basically like high school gossip, which is great. It's like, did you hear what he said? Did you hear what she said? Did you hear what she said about that?
They're all zines. They're just, it's pathetic.
Yeah.
Modern journalism is pathetic. That's my hot take.
The cool part about the article, though, is that Feige started talking a little bit more about some of the stuff that's going to be happening on Disney Plus. See, this is our Disney Plus episode. We got it. I got it for free, by the way, because I got Verizon. See, they know what they're doing, Disney. It's unlike any. He's talking about WandaVision. It's unlike anything we've done before. It's described as having 1950s sitcom roots, so that's something a little bit extra we didn't know. I don't know if I want to know that, but he also is talking about the development of Ms. Marvel, She-Hulk, and Moon Knight. All three will appear on the big screen after their Disney Plus debuts, which is the exec confirmed. So that's pretty cool. And finally, he talks about the Eternals. It's a very big movie. It's a very expensive movie, and we are making it because we believe in Chloe Zhao's Zhao's vision, and we believe in what these characters can do, and we believe we need to continue to grow and evolve and change and push our genre forward, considering no one really has even heard nor care. Even if you heard about these characters, you don't care about them. So kind of some cool little, a little extra information about stuff coming up thanks to Scorsese. All right, this one really I thought this is fascinating, and first kudos to James Massia for texting me about this to notify me. Celebs come out against CGI casting of James Dean in new film. This is from page6.com. James Dean is set to star in upcoming Vietnam-era drama Finding Jack, despite the fact the iconic actor has been dead for over 6 decades. The production company obtained the rights to Dean's image via his estate. It has the estate's blessing, but obviously several celebrities have kind of come out against it. We feel very honored that his family supports us and will take every precaution to ensure his legacy as one of the most epic film stars to date is kept firmly intact. The family views this as his 4th movie, a movie he never got to make. They basically said the co-director, Anton Ernst, told The Hollywood Reporter the casting department searched high and low for the perfect character to portray the role of Rogan, which has some extreme complex character arcs, and after months of research, we decided on James Dean. I love that. We decided to cast this guy who's dead for 6 decades. I got to be honest with you. The part that both appalls me is the obvious part, but the part that excites me is, can we finally get a young Indiana Jones movie now? Why can't we? I want Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones in his 30s. Let's do it.
You really want to have this conversation? Is that what you really want to do?
Yes,
or do we just move on from this before I start to open my mouth about it? Can we just peacefully move on from
Chris
this
Evans
nonsense?
said, I'm sure he'd be thrilled with eye-rolling emoji. He went on, this is awful. Maybe we can get a computer to paint us a new Picasso or write a couple new John Lennon tunes. The complete lack of understanding here is shameful.
Your Harrison Ford wouldn't be frickin' Harrison Ford. He wouldn't be Indiana Jones because it would just be his face.
No, but I'm saying you could do it CGI. You could de-age him. Have a stunt. Look, stunt doubles have been doing dangerous stunts for years. So what's the difference if it's just you take the stunt double and instead of like the obvious, I'm thinking back to Spaceballs when I
Why
say
would
this.
we want that though? Why do we want these things to go into perpetuity? I don't understand.
Well, Harrison Ford's not dead.
That's what I'm talking about. But you're talking about him never dying, basically.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah, no.
I'm not saying I'm drawing the line.
You don't even like Kingdom of Crystal Skull. You don't even like that with actual
part of it
Harrison
that I didn't
Ford
like. Part of it that I didn't like is seeing an old Indiana Jones.
Because you're an ageist. That's
yes,
not the movie's fault. That's your fault. That's your problem.
Same. It's the same. Well, but
so now we should
put out a movie
we should alter technology and change the face of filmmaking and alter the notion of posthumous art because you don't like old Indiana Jones. It's nonsense. This is nonsense. It's nonsense. We looked high and low for the right actor and decided it was James Dean. Are you high? That's a genuine soundbite from a movie executive. Yeah. That is the most asinine thing I've ever heard of.
Over under on how quickly it gets canceled. Like I feel like will it actually reach production? Will it be filmed?
One way or another, they're going to go through with it.
So?
One way or another, they're going to go through with it. Will it be received well? No.
Let me tell you right now, if they pull it off, though, I mean, it will. Yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be an event. I think we're all going to flock to the theater to see it if they pull it off as well as they hope to. I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying if they do, mark my words, it will be. I'll go see it. I mean, it's a spectacle.
That's what I'm talking about. It's a circus. It's not a movie. It's a circus trick.
An Andy Serkis. What a segue. Later on, we'll talk some Batman casting.
Dickwad.
Some Batman casting.
Hate being on this show.
Rumors. And when we come back, Disney Plus debuted, Mandalorian debuted, and we talk about the ramifications that first episode, just that first episode, will have on episode 9 when we return. Check out the all-new Sire Studios website, SireStudiosInc.com. Find all your back issues for The Sire, Mainstream, Undone, and more, and be on the lookout for news and announcements convention appearances, and brand new podcasts coming to Sire Studios. That address again is SireStudiosInc.com. Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire, talking comics, movies, TV, and pop culture every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. So, finally, it happened, Hassan. It happened. Disney Plus launched. And we get to finally talk about Mandalorian. So, like, after months of, like, it's been anticipation, but it's like, I feel like it's like one of those Christmas kind of things where you know Christmas is coming, and you kind of just put it in the back of your head. And then, I don't know, like 2 weeks leading up to Christmas, you're like, when's Christmas coming? And it was here. Question is...
Yeah, it was a little weird for me because for some reason this year, or this in the last few years, I guess, for maybe good reasons, I haven't been really, doing a good job of keeping track of time.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of, it's next week. Oh, it's in 2 days. Oh, it's 5 days. Oh, it's on already. It's on this morning, and I watched it. I was getting ready for work in the morning, and I
on
watched
Tuesday, right?
it. Yeah, I watched it about 6:45 in the morning.
Wow,
something like that. I wasn't really getting ready for work. I was getting ready to do some work, but it was about 6:45 in the morning, and so it wouldn't get ruined. Whatever the big secret was.
Yeah.
That we talked about it in the earlier segment that there, this bombshell secret.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want it to get ruined, so I watched it, and it was we're going to discuss it.
What's your
we're going to talk about it.
So this and this is not just a Q&A for you, but we've talked about this before. I am I don't want to use the word diehard fan because I'm not as diehard into the extended universe, but I'm a diehard. Grew up on the original trilogy. Prequels, consumed them, and consume. But I don't consume all the extra stuff. I don't. I never got into Clone Wars when it was on Cartoon Network. I never got into the extended universe and the books or the novels. I am more of a geek when it comes to Star Wars than a nerd when it comes to Star Wars. Whereas and again, this is not a disparaging way in any way, shape, or form. Go look up our previous episodes and you'll know what our definition of geek and nerd is. You're more of a Star Wars nerd because you're all over all of it, like all of it. So this is like...
Ouch.
Yes, I know. Very disparaging.
That hurts, dude.
So for me,
mean.
I'm going to give you my take. I enjoyed the episode. I thought there was a little bit of... there was a slickness to it that I didn't like in terms of like... Let me separate the two things, right? The actual like meat of what was going on, the characters, the story, with the look, feel, and sound. And I emphasize the word sound. And I'm kind of going to get away... I'm going to get all my nitpicky criticisms out of the way right now. And these are nitpicky criticisms. This is not like I didn't like it because I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was a little too slick looking in terms of the production quality. I thought it was Rogue One felt a little grittier and a little grimier, and for the period where this is 5 years after the Empire collapses, I felt that it and again,
it's Golden Age now, man. We're getting into New Republic territory,
yeah,
right? Luke and everybody's in charge.
I guess so. Maybe that's the explanation.
They can't really make it look like it's a disaster because that kind of puts to cast a mean glow on the
you could be 100% correct, and but it was the same. production issue I had with the prequels as well. But I guess again, it is supposed to be reflective of who's in charge, I guess, and the light side of the galaxy and all this other stuff, kind of decorating the production feel of it. But that was my one gripe. My major gripe of this entire no John Williams score. A Star Wars, anything Star Wars, and look, it's no fault. I mean, he's not even alive anymore. I get it. Like, is he right? He's not alive anymore, is he?
No, John Williams is still alive.
Oh, is he? Is he?
We don't need to kill John Williams any sooner.
I just canceled John Williams. How about that?
Yeah. Let's.
I thought he passed away.
You are going to get crucified, man, for making that mistake. Oh my God. Oh my! I'm dissociating myself.
Now I'm actually even more concerned. Why is he not? Why did he not?
He's super. First of all, he's extremely old, and he's retiring.
Yeah.
After the Rise of Skywalker,
okay.
So he might have been retired by then. Also, he's expensive. He's like super expensive. When you can get someone who can do it for half the price in perpetuity for however long the show is going to be around, it's probably. That's probably the wiser choice.
I guess so.
Williams did all 9 Star Wars episodes.
Yes.
Like, he is the saga.
Yes.
He is the purveyor of the saga. So he doesn't waste his time with this piddly little stuff. He doesn't do that.
I know, but there's a look and feel that I've come to expect from what I would call a Star Wars film, and there's a sound. You
get that with Rogue One or Solo,
and there's a sound to it,
and you enjoyed both of those.
But even then, the score mimicked more of that. This score was completely not in the Star Wars theme for me, and the Star Wars tone. Again, these are nitpicky criticisms. I'm just going to get them out of the way. They are
very nitpicky.
The actual episode itself, I thought, was really enjoyable. I'm very happy that Oberon has seen the light of day. See what I did there?
Yeah. Yes, his head got better.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
we
don't have the helmet on.
Wouldn't that be awesome if he removes his helmet and he's got no eyes?
He's got no eyes and half his head is crushed.
You blew my mind.
If I take this helmet off, my brains will squish out. So I'll just leave this helmet on for the entire run of the show.
Yeah. The little things that I both enjoyed simultaneously and got upset about was seeing the Muppet being eaten. Jabba the Hutt's Muppet friend.
Oh yeah, there's a something monkey.
Yeah.
So you're talking about Salacious Crumb, the species that Salacious Crumb belongs to.
Yeah. I thought it was a cool little thing to throw in there, but I was also like, I was also horrified seeing, but not in a bad.
Yeah, it was
not in a bad way. You know?
There was some unfortunate stuff in there. Yeah. Yeah. I can see why. I can see that. I get that. That's not cool. It's hard to see animals suffer. It really is. Right, no matter even if they're fake animals, it's kind of hard to see animals suffer.
No, I agree. So so getting back to my original opening in this segment, though, I am really curious to know your thoughts on the intricacies of the universe here. And how it relates to everything and how it relates to what you expect or were hoping to expect.
Well, we don't really know any. I mean, I know we have to, and it's important to do so. But, I mean, doing a review of the first episode where really nothing happened, I think it looks slick. It looks Star Wars, I didn't feel like, oh man, these guys, this is like someone's fan film, of what Star Wars. Although it did have fan filmy feeling to it, but that's just the scenario.
Okay, that's okay.
The scenario is well, if it's okay for you, but I mean the scenario is very rudimentary, Someone said it was like an intergalactic bar hop because he just went from bar to bar to bar. I liked it. I think it has a lot of really good potential. I didn't think I was in danger of not liking it. Like I
Yeah.
didn't, I didn't go into it like skeptically. I thought some of the dialogue was a little stiff. I don't like, personally. If we're gonna nitpick, I'll nitpick.
Yeah, nothing
I
wrong with
don't
that.
like tough. I don't like tough guy talk. You know what I'm saying? When my tough guy, like, okay, one of my to this day now, to it's retroactive, but to right now, my favorite action hero is John Wick. And if
Okay.
you watch, he never threatens anyone. He
Right.
never threatens people. There's no bravado. He's always like kind of weary. He always wants to, avoid the fight if it all humanly possible. But and then he roundly succeeds in destroying whoever decided to test his mettle. But he doesn't make any kind of, bravado statement of there's only 10 of you, that's not enough, and none of that happens. So some characters' badassery in my book is always based on how little they say, not how much they say. So when he was basically kind of mouthing off both to Carl Weathers and to what's his name, Werner Herzog. Although it is badass to mouth off to Werner Herzog, because I wouldn't. If I ran into Werner Herzog, I'd be like, yes, sir, absolutely, sir, whatever you want. You're like, oh, you want all the money in my wallet? Here you go. Please, just go away. don't do anything to me. But that kind of got me the wrong way. I think that dialogue was a little stiff. That dialogue could have been a little more clever in nitpicky science.
Mhm.
Also, the fact that, okay, I could give you, I'll pay you in full Imperial credits, or I could pay you half in Mon Calamari money, and he just accepts the
I like
half.
my calamari fried. Just saying. It's fried. I kind of noticed that too, though.
You're not even the 90th person to tell that crap joke, but okay. It's just like, okay, you're just going to accept half the payment? Like,
Right.
that's, I didn't get that. Like, there are certain things I just,
he alluded to the fact that it's desperate times, so he'll kind of take what he can get, because the Imperial credits might be like the euro, at this point.
Of
where
course.
it's just,
The Empire's gone. Why would you take Imperial money?
Yeah.
I get it. But then, he kind of, again, he hits him with a little bravado about, like, give, the money and whatever. And then as soon as he goes, okay, well, I'll pay you half, and, in Zoroastrian money, and he's like, oh, okay, why didn't you say that before? Now I can make animal balloons, what are you going to do with that? So there was that. Those are my nitpicks.
Yeah.
That and the Nick Nolte character saying it's impossible to get there on foot.
I'm glad you brought it up there. I'm like, well, then how'd the droid get there? How'd all those other bounty hunters that you said went there got there? How did all the people end up there? Period.
Well, not only that, when they showed them ride there, it looked like normal ground to me.
No, and that's the thing. There was nothing. That was the thing I couldn't understand. There was nothing extraordinary about him, with the exception of, and Joey Stone posted this on my Facebook wall, that the monsters that he rode, with the Bulwark or whatever they're called, are from the Ewok made for Battle of Endor TV special.
Yeah.
That's, I guess, the reason why he had it in there.
Battle for Endor.
Battle for Endor, yes.
Okay,
sorry
get
about
that right.
Sorry
right.
about that.
You said John Williams is dead, and now you don't know that.
Star Wars geek, Star Wars nerd. Big difference. Jordi Armengol, I hope I pronounced his name right. He actually was the only one to put a negative comment, really. He thought it was kind of boring. I actually read a review also from the New York Post talking about how the first half was kind of boring. It started picking up after he actually went on the new job.
Oh, you mean like it's an actual episode that's establishing itself and establishing characters and stuff like that? Yeah, right. I know. those bits are boring, I guess, kids. You know, when no one's shooting at you, sometimes I guess you're gonna have to deal with a few talking heads every now and then, kids.
I loved seeing
the darn episode didn't even last long enough to get boring, in my
No,
opinion. It wasn't a roller coaster ride the entire time, definitely. And like we said, that weird Nick Nolte scene where he's learning to ride a wild
for
animal.
no reason. It had no bearing whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but I mean, look, it's not even going to be on an hour.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're sitting there like, oh, I'm wasting my time, then you've got attention deficit situation right there. You know, I mean, look, you didn't like it. Walk away. You know,
can we all agree the IG-88 was like the best part of the episode, though?
That is not IG-88. That's IG-11.
Oh, it's IG-11. Okay, sorry. That is the best part of this entire
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, I saw his name in the credits. I'm like, what? And then I found out I was like, he played. I'm like, oh, he was the droid.
Yeah, it was. I mean, look, it was great to actually see one of the bounty hunter droids. I mean, he's the same droid as IG-88. It's in the same droid series.
Right.
So it was kind of cool to see one of those actually, in action. That was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the sequence was cool.
Yeah.
And then, that ending is, that does make you want to wait, or can't wait till Friday to
without spoiling. Without spoiling.
Because
we're going to do our non-spoiler review, as I mentioned, and next week we'll get a little more spoiler-y, possibly.
I wasn't going to say anything about it being Edward Cullen.
Where do you think... what do you think that means? And look, I'm putting you on a spot, and I'm also putting you in a difficult position because we're saying no spoilers. Because it's only a day old at this point, so we're trying to be fair to people.
F the people.
No, we're gonna F the people next week. This week we're gonna try to. Are we looking at the return of a fan favorite, or are we simply looking at the next evolution of a fan favorite?
Has to be the next evolution. How could it be a return?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We'll leave it at that. We're not going to go too deep into it. As I mentioned in the first segment, next week is our spoiler-filled review. I think I mentioned first season, but that's not true because it's going to be one episode, which I love, by the way. I love the fact that this is not a bingeable show. I'm tired of bingeable shows.
Well, they don't have enough content yet to let you all binge it.
I know.
I mean, it'd be because it's over. Like not. I like binging things, but it's it has been it has been noticed or it become a thing that when you drop something on a Friday, by Sunday everyone's seen it and they're not talking about it anymore by Thursday. So. Yeah. I guess keeping it on week after week after week is a good way to keep it relevant for all the money that you threw into it,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I mean, I'm used to binging, man. They sold me this entire streaming thing on binging. Now they're going to take the binging away. No, unacceptable. Give the binging back.
Real quick, last point here. Brian Phillips had asked, I feel like there were some major plot holes in the Star Wars universe. Wasn't Django supposed to be the last? And does this take place well after his death?
Django isn't even a Mandalorian, so this guy's wrong.
I was reading up an article on that too, and they were so. To me, it is very confusing. Again, because I don't have the context of these other, shows. But I guess this comes from. I didn't actually credit where I got this from, but the short version, the Mandalorians
we can make fun of him because he doesn't have a name.
We're an alien race driven from their home planet that, after going to war with the Jedi over the fate of the Republic, became a pacifist culture for the most part, as well as a significant storyline based around the planet as it was temporarily overrun by a violent separatist group led by Darth Maul. And that's from the Star Wars Clone Wars.
Yeah, that's later that's not the evolution of the people, of the Mandalorian people, but that's kind of how the Clone Wars ended. That's why Darth Maul is in Solo.
Yeah, and
because he's in charge of Crimson Dawn.
Apparently, I guess this takes place 10 years after the end of the Civil War on Mandalore, which is the planet there. And by the time
of the Mandalorian, so it
yes.
kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes, I don't know.
Makes a little bit of sense.
I wasn't doubting.
I'm not. I'm color commentating. Jerk, you big jerk.
All right,
go ahead.
Let us know what you guys think. Again, next week we're gonna go a little heavier into that ending, which they said is a universe spoiler or universe game changer. However, what was the exact quote? A universe spoiler. So we'll see what that does. We'll do that next week. But so try to keep it spoiler free. Give us your take on all things Mandalorian.
Hot takes.
Finally here. We will comment right back to you on the Facebook feed. Coming up next, Watchmen Watch, episode 4.
What I want to feel for Rian Johnson as a creator is that he turned in the most kick-ass Star Wars script that was going to flip the script on the entire saga, and Kathleen Kennedy and everybody else like, no, we can't do this. What else you got? And then he turns into the first draft of the Star Wars fanfic that he did when he was 15 years old. He goes, well, I got this also. And they're like, we'll make this. This is brilliant.
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. Secrets of the Sire is brought to you by all of our beloved patrons, dedicated fans, Tom Osa, Craig Caruso, Einar Peterson, Matt Byer, Ashley Haikai, Omar Morales, Brian Phillips, Steve Obecki, our program director, Stephanie Dolce, and as always, our Uber fan, Christina Dolce. As a patron, if you go to patreon.com/Secrets of the Sire, join us because we are going to have a live in-store event December 28th at Nyack, New York, streaming live only for our beloved patrons. That's right. We're taking away from the public to give to our supporters. It's our end-of-year gift. It is our Episode 9 Star Wars Spectacular episode coming December 28th. Go to patreon.com/Secrets of the Sire. All right. It's Watchmen Watch. Basically, just to kind of pull the curtain back, Hassan, many weeks ago was like, are we going to do every episode? Like, we should commit to it. It's a classic graphic novel. It is seen as, at least by me, especially, the best, if not one of the best of all time. It's a seminal work, and what they're doing in HBO is actually pretty groundbreaking. So we are every week up until the season finale, which is what, is it 8 episodes or 10? I don't remember which one it is. We're doing Watchmen Watch. So this is episode 4. That was my cutting edge audio. Do you like that? Cutting edge. Watchmen Watch. Episode 4 introduced some new characters. Lady True. It also started to really pull the curtain back on Adrian Veidt a little bit. I mean, we don't know where he is, but we do obviously know that this is some sort of prison world, be it virtual, be it physical, be it off-world, as you kind of thought last episode of Secrets of the Sire. It also kind of tied in some chronology as to Gene Smart's Laurie character, Laurie Blake, Agent Blake, where she was in relation to Regina King's character, and brought back the old man a little bit and gave us a couple more nuggets into his past. Now, before we get into one thing that you mentioned, I'm wondering if Lady True is somehow connected to, because obviously Vietnam in the graphic novel was a major staging ground for a lot of the plot lines that developed over the course of the series. I'm wondering, though, in the graphic novel, comedian impregnates a child. Impregnates one of the villagers with a child and then slaughters her. It's assumed the child is dead. I wonder, however, if Lady True...
She's too young.
But is, again...
She's too young.
She is. But she mentions a grandmother. And she mentions how she promised her grandmother she'd never leave Vietnam. I'm wondering if the grandmother is perhaps the child. And then her children, because it's just clone mania, I'm wondering if the clone madness is that she just keeps, she's making maybe she's making,
her daughter's definitely a clone.
right.
And she's definitely, whatever she's building is definitely to catch Adrian Veidt once he catapults himself off of Mars or the moon or wherever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, since she already admits she bought his company, she's
Right.
running his company for him. So just wait for it. And that whatever she bought that farm for in the beginning to catch is whatever he launched off of wherever he is.
Yeah. I'm wondering what the grandfather has anything to do with this, though. That's the part I don't understand. That's the part that just,
I know.
or the great grandfather.
None of us do. None of us do. Although, of course, he can walk and he's working with her, and
Looks a lot more like Louis Gossett Jr. when he's walking.
well, because he's got his legs, right?
Did not look like him. When you're like, that's Lou Gossett Jr. I'm like, what?
Yeah, you're just a white guy. You don't know who Lou Gossett Jr. is. That's me. I'm racist.
I know
said
who
the
he
racist
is.
thing. I'm just kidding.
Didn't look
I'm
like
just
him.
kidding. It did
I'm
look
an
like
ageist.
I recognized him
I'm
right
an
away.
ageist. I don't want old Lou Gossett Jr. I want young Lou
There
Gossett
was
Jr.
never a young Lou. Name the movie where he was young.
I can't even.
Okay,
I can't
that's
even
what
name
I
you any
thought.
Lou Gossett Jr. Movies.
That's another thing I thought, and although I've neglected to say it, you didn't even watch Iron Eagle.
No, I've seen many movies that he's
Such a
in, and I
frat
could
boy.
not, for the life of you, tell you that
Such
anything
a
about
frat
any of
boy.
them.
All right, never mind. He was in Roots, man. He was
Okay, I've
Fiddler.
seen Roots.
Oh, never mind. No, you haven't.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I don't want to have this conversation. I'm just kidding anyway.
What was what we were talking off air though? What was the plot hole that got you kind of confused a little bit?
The she breaks into the what do we have now? What's the equivalent of the thing we have now? The what do we call that? The Ancestry.com, whatever.
Sure.
She broke
Right.
broke into the equivalent of Ancestry.com.
Right.
She put her DNA in. She asked for her, and
Right.
then it calls up her great
I
grandparents.
love that they have holograms, but they don't have like cell phones and the internet. Like that baffles
Don't
me.
even start. Don't start.
I like
there's so
that as a
many-
backdrop, but it's just weird considering
Yeah.
they have holograms.
They have telephones that go to Mars. I mean,
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
But you don't need a cell phone. Nobody needs a cell phone.
Yeah.
So she calls up her family tree and it tells her that she's got another set of grandparents, whatever. And it tells her about her great grandfather and that he was in World War I and that he was, that he came home and he married his high school sweetheart and they
Yep.
had one kid. And
Yep.
then they got slaughtered. They got
Right.
killed in the Tulsa massacre
Right.
of 1921. And the computer just gives her that information like there's not a logic jump. Because if those are her great-grandparents and they got slaughtered and their one and only son got killed, then
Right.
how the
then
hell
how's
is she there?
here? Right.
Now we know their one and only son did not die.
But the computer doesn't know that.
But the computer doesn't know that. So it just there should have been some kind of mention of it would have been better if they were cousins. I know story wise they're gonna go for the heart. The heart is to make her
Sure.
a
A
descendant.
direct line. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean it would make more logic. It'd make more logical. I mean, and people do that all the time. Solo has like a glaring hole in it. It's like wait a minute, like, and this is right after. Like you put the hole right after the solution. It doesn't make
Right.
any sense. But I mean, you just notice that in stories all the time. But the first thing you ask yourself is, well, how does the computer square that circle? Oh, you're here. You've just given us your DNA. Your DNA trails back to this. These people were slaughtered.
I feel like this is. It's not an AI. It's literally just a.
I know, but I mean, it would say there's a discrepancy here. It should acknowledge even a computer
like a Y2K
have,
bug, like a Y2K bug or
even
something.
a computer you have now would tell you there's a discrepancy. There's something off about.
Or it would update
math.
it. She's like, he's not dead. He's disappeared. Like maybe the computer would actually say that.
Yes.
Updating
Or
his status
it would
to.
give her a number of possibilities. It would give her a number.
The only
of,
question though is clone
scenarios.
technology also something that is rampant to the general
It would mention
public.
it. We're not supposed to speculate that. It would mention it.
Yeah.
It would give us it would, like I said, it would square its own circle as a computer. It would say this is a logical leap. logically this could not exist. Therefore, here are a number of variances on the information that's available
Sure.
that would actually that would correlate with the evidence that we have.
Yeah.
And so that, I mean, look, it's a nitpick, but it's just one of those things like, well, the computer is just very casual about, yeah, they're dead, but obviously you're here.
You had actually asked me about whether or not, now we're 4 episodes in, if whether I think the payoff is gonna actually land or not.
Yeah.
And I was kind of telling you, I'm actually enjoying this show on a much different level. I am enjoying the mystery element. I am wondering if it's going to pay off. I hope it does. I hope that it kind of, whatever the reveal is. The reveal at the end of the season, by the way, is Dr. Manhattan's coming. I mean, that's obviously that's going to be the
Most
last
likely.
episode.
Not
The reveal, but that's going to be one of the big like bombshell moments of the season because we're building toward that. But I kind of enjoy this show as kind of like a comic book that I would just kind of like buy for the artwork, because the style of the show is just so compelling. Like that one shot where she's opening up the trunk, and then it immediately cuts to her closing the trunk, but it's in a different scene, and she's dumping the remnants of the wheelchair into the train to dispose of evidence. And all at the exact same time, Trent Reznor's like score is kind of playing, like a very 9-inch Nailsian song is playing in the background. Like to me, that alone just keeps me coming back every week. And there is, because part of it's like, okay, and if you read the recap, not the recap, but like the promo for the episode, it's like Lady True finally makes an appearance. I'm like, finally? What do you mean finally? Like, I don't even know who this character is, and she's been mentioned before, and if she has, I don't even recall seeing or hearing. So it's not necessarily that stuff. That stuff is interesting.
Yeah, it's this new form of marketing we have where it turns everything into an event that you should be looking forward to.
It has to be, right? Yeah.
Even though you don't know anything about
Right.
it just talks to you as though you've been waiting for this, your whole life.
Yeah.
And then you yourself will, like the computer, like I was talking about, you'll do the math yourself and go, oh, I guess this is something I should be paying attention to. And it, then you realize, wait a minute, I don't know who this. You're never supposed to think too deeply about any of the modern day marketing scams that they're being played on us. And I say it, I disparage it as a scam. I mean it affectionately. But we're not really supposed to think too deeply on it. Like,
Right.
Honestly, to be honest with you,
I agree.
Everybody's fascinated by the mystery, and they want to get to the bottom of it. But if this was Watchmen, would you even be watching it? If it maybe, but it would have been a hook.
It finally had boobies. It finally had boobies. Yeah. We're at the halfway point, by the way. I just looked it up. 9 episodes. Halfway in. Are you buying or selling on this show? Because I'm buying. I'm all in. I love it. I love the tone. I love the feel. Again, it's a
boobies. Huh?
Well, that doesn't hurt, right?
Uh-huh.
Come on. When you were a kid, not even when you were a kid.
What's the key of that sentence right there? Right there. How do you preface that question?
I'm adulting. When you were younger, or not even when you were younger, but like when HBO would show new shows, it would be tough to get into them, but you'd know there'd be like some sex in it, so you'd be like, "No, I'll give it a shot and take a look at this." That's how I got into 6 Feet Under. Great show. Shout out to Pat Shand.
Because there were dead naked boobs.
No, not the dead naked boobs.
Now you gotta clarify.
I just did.
Because I helped you.
Are you all in?
You were just gonna leave it right there, Necro.
Are you all in? Are you
not
buying
all.
or selling?
No, I'm not buying. I'm neither buying nor selling. As Dr. Manhattan said, by a 9, with neither condemning nor condoning. I understand.
All right, that's a cop-out. All right, when we come back, we go spinning the racks on the new Batman casting. Is it drawing inspiration from a seminal Batman work? When we come back. Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire, talking comics, movies, TV, and pop culture every Wednesday night. As we do every Wednesday night, we go spinning the racks, giving you the inside scoop on the comic books that lay the foundation for the movies you're going to enjoy in theaters.
Spin the rack, spin that rack.
Batman Long Halloween. Batman has multiple villains. This is from ScreenRant.com. So far, a few names have been confirmed for The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson, while others remain rumors or in early talks. Zoe Kravitz, we announced, was the new Catwoman. Paul Dano will play Riddler. And Westworld's Jeffrey Wright recently was announced as the role of Commissioner Gordon. Very good cast, by the way. That's an excellent job in terms of getting Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon. I can completely see that. I think it's kind of cool. But then there are rumors that Colin Farrell will play the Penguin. Andy Serkis is in discussion to play Alfred Pennyworth. And Matthew McConaughey is talking about taking on the role of Two-Face. So now all of a sudden, you don't just have one villain. You don't just have two villains. You have multiple villains. So is this drawing inspiration from Batman Long Halloween, the Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale classic from the very, very early 2000s? For anybody who doesn't know, Long Halloween was a 13-issue American comic book taking place in the early days of Batman's crime fighting. It tells the story of a mysterious killer named Holiday who murders people on holidays, one each month, working with District Attorney Harvey Dent before he turns into Two-Face, and Captain James Gordon. Batman races against the calendar as he tries to discover who Holiday is. It launched actually the Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale duo. They ended up going on to do Spider-Man Red and Blue and all these other things. They ended up doing another couple DC stories together too. I think it's actually what put Jeff Loeb on the map, right? I mean, he had that and maybe Batman versus Superman or Batman and Superman.
I think so. I think Long Halloween's the one that broke him. Yeah,
and Tim Sale's artwork is unbelievable. So buying it, we were talking about Watchmen in the last segment. From a stylized point of view, is just great to see in general. If this casting is based off the Long Halloween, I'm okay with it because I was literally talking to my friend, getting James Massia, getting call-outs all over the place today. And he was like, why are they doing 800 villains? Personally, one villain. You don't need more than one villain. Spider-Man made that mistake of let's cram as many villains into these movies as humanly possible.
They've been making that mistake since Batman Returns.
Yeah. But if it's that they all kind of have cameos and they're laying the groundwork, I think that's actually kind of a cool idea. I mean, you have if Matthew McConaughey really will indeed be Two-Face down the line, that's kind of cool. Although we've seen that in the Christopher Nolan trilogy. We actually sort of saw it in Tim Burton. It never got realized, but they introduced Harvey Dent and it was Billy Dee Williams, and it could have been
Lando Dent.
Yeah. But if that's the case, I kind of like that. If it's kind of jumping around, in the comic book, it ties into the events that transform Harvey Dent into Batman's enemy, Two-Face. Scarecrow shows up, the Joker, Mad Hatter, Poison Ivy. We get a lot of different villains, and I wonder at this point if because comic books culture is so saturated, mainstream culture, that they don't even really need to spend a lot of time introducing these villains. People just kind of know it. If you see Poison Ivy on screen, people are not going to be like, oh, I wonder who that is,
Mm-hmm.
So.
It could be Long Halloween. Who knows? I mean, look, I'm sorry. I'm still gonna be fairly negative about Warner Brothers.
Really?
Yeah, I don't give a darn about the Joker. Congratulations, Warner Brother, with with Wonder Woman and with Aquaman and with the Joker. Congratulations. Yeah. You're still a circus. You're still a mess compared to what you have. in comparison to what you have, comparing to what you've accomplished,
Hmm.
and a lot of it was by accident. The Joker is by accident, and it's actually it's going to mess up your Batman.
Yeah, well, that's what they were asking. In Screen Rant, they were saying, can Warner Brothers convince Joaquin Phoenix to sign up for a franchise as the Joker? That would actually ruin the
No.
Joker for me.
It would totally ruin the Joker because it's technically, it gets away with not being the Joker.
Right,
It gets away with all the stuff that's done by not really being the Joker.
right,
It also if it is the Joker, it gets away with all the stuff that it did by being in an alternate universe
right,
where maybe the Joker is the sympathetic one. You know,
right.
it gets away with a lot of stuff because it's on the outside, it's on the periphery.
Yeah,
If you now try to capitalize, and they have no choice. They have no choice. They've made $1 billion off of it.
yeah.
They will. By this week, it will be $1 billion movie, right? They actually have no choice but to try to incorporate it somehow, or to try to capitalize on it somehow. They have no choice. Just in a business standpoint, and it was a good decision for them because it made them a lot of money. I can't take it away from them, but in their world building, it's a mess. It messes a lot of stuff up. And the problem with Batman's villains is that because, and as far as I understand it, and I'm understanding this incorrectly, I already acknowledge this. The Batman versus the Joker hysteria. The Joker is the mirror opposite of Batman. They're two peas in a pod. That started basically in 1990.
Right.
With 1989, 1990 with the Tim Burton movie. Now, that's only because not in the comic books. The comic books are a completely different thing, but that catapulted the Joker into supervillain status, right? That you know. So Batman really isn't really anything without the Joker. And I mean, you don't have a good Batman drama. And all these movies are looking for cinematic drama. Now, the problem is you catapulted off with Jack Nicholson, who's, unsurpassed. You then add Mark Hamill, who again gives an unsurpassed performance. And none of these performances have been surpassed. They've been equaled.
Right.
They've all been added to the pantheon, but they haven't been surpassed. Nobody's better than Mark Hamill's Joker. Nobody's better than Nicholson's Joker. Nobody's better than Heath Ledger's Joker. And I will give it to Joaquin Phoenix. No one will be Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. The Joker is apparently this malleable thing where all you have to do is everybody can have their own different take on it. And it will work in some way if you actually manage to capture the imagination of the audience.
The Joker is like your id, right? And that's what everyone loves about him. It's just this guy who can just do whatever he wants.
I tend to think I'm a little more problematic with Joaquin Phoenix because he's a little less mythical than the other versions. Because I think Heath Ledger's Joker is the most mythical because we do not have an origin story for him. He just kind of comes out of nowhere and we never see his face. Yeah. You never see his normal face.
He's also more threatening. and we talked about this on our Joker.
Yeah, he was
Joaquin Phoenix.
He was also the most successful, right?
Yeah.
Because he pulled everything he set out to accomplish. He pulled it all off.
Yeah. I gotta watch that again. I haven't seen Dark Knight in a long, long time.
Yeah.
It's not like Toy Story where my son watches it over and over again. I just have not. I've not dove into those.
Just to quickly finish this off. The Warner Brothers
words, Hassan. Use words. Use your words.
Warner Brothers has.
That's what I say to my son now. Use your words.
Warner Brothers has attempted to turn every one of the Batman villains into a Joker. To lift to raise them to Joker caliber.
Yeah.
And it's never worked. They should have each character. They should have put them on their own pedestal.
Right.
They should have put the Joker on the Joker's pedestal. They should have put the Riddler on the Riddler's pedestal. Penguin, etc. Not the Mad Hatter or King Tut or some of those others because, quite honestly, they're
Yeah, well,
they're-
King
they're-
Tut's pretty bad.
I'm talking about even Scarecrow. I mean,
I'm
they
with
don't,
you. I'm with you, but I guess again, I think.
but
at
they
this
never
point-
did.
I know.
So you're talking about the Penguin's going to be in this new movie, and who else? Who's the
Penguin, Riddler,
Penguin, the Riddler,
Two-Face,
Two-Face.
Catwoman.
Two-Face, and Two-Face is not even Harvey Dent's probably not even going to become Two-Face in this particular iteration
No.
yet, if they're smart,
No.
right? So, but the Penguin and the Riddler are not the Joker. They can do something with them, but if they did something amazing with the Penguin and the Riddler,
Mhm.
I'm sick. That's why I can't say Penguin for some reason. If they do something amazing with the Penguin and the Riddler, it will be the first time cinematically they managed to do something amazing with the Penguin.
You made a point though. They tried to do something. Tim Burton tried to do something with Penguin long time ago.
Come on.
The Joel. I'm just saying it failed. I'm not saying it succeeded. I'm just saying.
And then you're
going
to call out Jim Carrey. I mean, come on.
No, what I'm saying is
they
those
haven't.
movies were caricatures of the actual characters. That's a different thing altogether. I mean, look, this goes back to the Scorsese stuff, right? I mean, at the end of the day, this stuff, these aren't as adult as we try to make some of these movies. I mean, it's a guy wearing a jacket with a bunch of question marks on it. It's it's a guy who looks like a penguin, so he calls himself that. It's a woman with leaves around her, and she can command. I mean, it's
that's what I'm talking about.
fantastical to start with. So to pull it off, I think there's just. I'm not saying you can't pull it off.
It's been done.
They've
pulled it
harder.
off. It's been done.
Yes, but it's not an easy feat every single time. It's not a given every single time. So, all right, we'll see what happens. We'll see as we get more casting rumors. But I'm actually getting excited for the movie. Next week,
after all that,
we talked about Mandalorian Episode 1. Next week, we will talk Season 1 of The Mandalorian. Plus, Heidi McDonald from Comics Beat celebrates 25 years. She will join us as our special guest next week. We will see you then.